Imagine chugging a giant bottle of water before bed and waking up expecting your face to look smoother and brighter, only to find the same dry patch near your nose waiting like it never got the memo. That matters because people spend money chasing glow, blame themselves for flaky skin, and overlook causes that affect comfort, irritation, makeup, acne, and confidence. By the end, you will know when water genuinely helps, when it mostly heads to your kidneys, and why skin behaves less like a thirsty sponge and more like a brick wall standing in bad weather. You can test the myth in your own memory. Think about the last time you were truly dehydrated after heat, illness, or a long workout. Your mouth felt dry, your energy dipped, and your whole body felt a little wrung out. Now think about a cold morning when your cheeks felt tight, even though you had been drinking normally. Those do not feel like the same problem because they usually are not. One is whole body fluid shortage. The other is often a damaged barrier letting water escape from the skin surface. Your skin is living tissue, but the top of it works a lot like a wall. The cells act as bricks, while natural fats behave like mortar between them, and a thin surface film slows evaporation. If that wall stays intact, the skin holds onto water better and looks calmer. If the wall gets chipped by dry air, hot showers, harsh cleansers, retinoids, or eczema, water leaks out faster no matter how faithful you are to your bottle. The mirror sees the leak, not your effort, which is why dermatologists care so much about barrier repair. In controlled studies, moisturizers that reduce water loss can improve dryness and texture faster than simply telling people to drink more. Once you have enough fluid for circulation, temperature control, and waste removal, extra water does not get delivered to your face like a luxury upgrade. Your kidneys are excellent managers, and they do not see glowing cheekbones as an emergency project. That is where the myth bends without breaking, because water matters enormously for health and basic function. It just does not work like pouring lotion through your mouth. Some studies do find modest skin changes when people who usually drink very little start drinking more water, and the benefits tend to show up most in people who started out underhydrated. Going from enough to extra is far less dramatic than the internet likes to promise. Try a quick reality check. If extra water alone created soft, calm skin, every person carrying an oversized bottle would look airbrushed by lunchtime, and every swimmer would step out of the pool looking moisturized. Skin appearance depends on barrier strength, oil production, inflammation, sleep, hormones, sun exposure, genetics, and the surrounding air along with hydration. Water matters, but it is one actor in a crowded cast, and treating it like the whole movie is how people end up disappointed. Maya started carrying water everywhere during a brutal winter because her cheeks were stinging by noon, and her makeup kept catching on rough patches. She assumed she was failing at hydration, but the real problem was a foaming cleanser, very hot showers, office air that felt like toast, and a strong retinoid used too often. When she switched to gentler washing and sealed her skin while it was still damp, the tightness eased before her bottle habits changed at all. That result fits the wall metaphor almost perfectly, because a moisturizer works like fresh mortar and a temporary seal. Some ingredients attract water into the outer layer, while others smooth rough edges or slow evaporation before the room can steal that moisture. Wash your hands, dry them lightly, and put moisturizer on only one of them. Give it a few quiet minutes before you compare how each side feels. The more comfortable hand is not better because you drank faster. It is better because it is losing less water to the room. Real dehydration can show up on the skin, but it usually arrives with louder signs first. Think obvious thirst, dry mouth, darker urine, fatigue, dizziness or feeling flattened after heat, fever, stomach illness, or hard exercise. In that state, skin may look duller or feel less springy because the whole system is running short. Ordinary winter flaking, a rough patch by the mouth, or irritation from acne treatments usually are not proof that your internal tank is empty. Most of the time, that patch is a barrier story, not a reservoir story. Picture a house with cracked grout between bathroom tiles. Pouring more water into the plumbing would not fix the leak through the wall, because repairing the grout would. Skin often works the same way. When the outer layer is compromised, the issue is not always too little water inside the body. The issue is that the water already there cannot stay where you want it. That is why humid air, gentle cleansing, and sunscreen can matter more than another dramatic refill. The myth survives because it contains a small, honest core wrapped in a much larger fantasy. A mildly dehydrated person can look worse and feel worse, but then that true edge gets stretched into the promise that every dull morning or flaky patch can be solved with one morally satisfying habit. It is a beautiful sales pitch because water sounds pure, disciplined, and universal. Biology is less romantic. Skin is an organ with a barrier, an immune system, oil glands, microbes, and a memory for irritation. That last part matters more than people think. If you sleep badly, get too much sun, pick at your skin, smoke, or keep scrubbing until your face squeaks, you can drink admirable amounts of water and still look irritated. Large reviews and everyday clinical practice keep pointing to the same boring truth. Sunscreen, moisturizers, and gentle cleansers do more for ordinary dryness than treating your bottle like a magic wand, while acne, eczema, or rosacea improve when you target the actual problem. There is also a trap hiding inside the hydration myth. When water becomes the star, people start treating skin as a sign of virtue. If your face looks dry, maybe you were not disciplined enough, and if somebody glows, maybe they cracked the secret, but that story is mostly wrong. Skin is not a moral report card, but a surface trying to manage weather, chemistry, and time. So, what should you actually believe when somebody says water improves skin? Believe the smaller version. If you are not drinking enough, correcting that may help your skin look less dull or depleted. If you are already reasonably hydrated, drinking far beyond thirst is unlikely to turn ordinary dryness into glow. For visible change, the stronger levers are protecting the wall and reducing the daily things that punch holes in it, especially harsh products, sun, dry air, and untreated irritation. Return to that giant bottle before bed and the stubborn patch near your nose in the morning. The bottle was never useless, but it was never the whole answer either. Your skin is not a houseplant begging for endless refills. Most days it is a wall asking whether the mortar is intact, and whether you keep scrubbing off the little protection it had. Drink enough water because your body needs it. Expect better skin when you also help it keep the water it already has. The wall story usually tells the truth.